Good morning. My name is the Zachary Binks, and I am kicking off a new walkthrough of Pirate 101 in the year 2025. I'm so excited to be introducing Pirate 101 to folks who have either played this game before or folks who have never played this game at all. A little background, this game came out in October 15th, 2012, so it is 13 years old almost. And I originally started playing Wizard 101, and then when Pirate 101 came out, I was like, I have to check this out as an avid Wizard 101 fan, and I absolutely fell in love with this game. I think Pirate 101 is very underrated, and I'm excited to share my love of this game to everyone else, and I hope you all find joy and find this walkthrough to be very helpful. To give a little background on how my walkthrough is going to work, I'm going to be doing videos of the main storyline, and then I'll be also uploading separate videos of every single side quest. Yep, you heard it here, folks. I'm going to be doing a fully comprehensive walkthrough. I have this 100% completionist in my blood, and every time I play a game, I have to do every small quest that there is imaginable. So that is what this walkthrough is going to be about. I'm very excited to share it with you all. Now, for those of you that are like, Zach, do you have what it takes to give us a comprehensive, fully flushed out walkthrough? Well, I have maybe some little experience. It's not like I have like a max level swashbuckler or a max level privateer or anything like that. But we are going to be doing our very own walkthrough, and I'm excited to get started with you all. So we are going to be creating a new character, and this is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. It's my first YouTube video ever, so hopefully it gets some attention, and even if it doesn't, even if it's just for a few folks to begin with, I'm excited to share all of this with you all. So this is Mr. Gandry. We start our lives off as a pirate that has been captured by the Armada, and we're going to get to know the Armada very, very soon. And then we have Boochbeard here. So we are going to walk through how to create a character, and I have some few tips and tricks about what character creation is, and like the do's and don'ts and just my personal opinions when walking through. So we are going to be picking boy, because I am a boy. What's your name, pirate? And for a name, now I generally have always named my pirates with a first and a middle name, and I don't really go for a last name. So my first tip for you all is, instead of just clicking the blue button, you can actually go through these names faster by clicking and holding down the blue arrows, and it'll help scroll through all of these names super duper fast. So we're not going to have a last name on our pirate, and I want our middle name to be Zachary. So there we go. And to get a little hint as to what pirate class, we're going to be going over all 5 of them later. There's 5 in total. But for those of you that are interested in knowing which pirate class I'm going to be selecting, I am going to find the name that I picked off screen, and that is going to be Reckless. It's right down here. Oh, I just passed it again. There we go. Reckless, Zachary. And you know what? I'm actually going to do a third name, just to make it different and distinct from all my other pirates. Let's do Reckless Zachary Armstrong. So if you can't tell by now, put your guesses in the chat below, in the comments below, as to what pirate class you think I'm going to be going for. But we're going to start our life off as Reckless Zachary Armstrong.
I told you, he's the one. Maybe so. If you are who you say you are, prove it.
Okay, Boochbeard, we're going to prove it to you. So they already know that we're an orphan. Our parents have gone away, and we get to pick which ending our parents met their demise. So there's 5 endings, And there is the first one, which is Storm. So this character creation, when you are creating a character and you get to the how'd you lose your parents screen, this question will determine which companion will join your crew later on. I'll get into more about companions a little bit later when we recruit our very first one. But we'll be recruiting a very special companion. So each one of these 5 ways that our parents met their demise or we were orphaned will give a distinct companion. So Storm is going to be giving us Milo Greytail, which is a rat brigand. It is a swashbuckler companion. I recommend picking Storm if you're wanting to go for a musketeer or a swashbuckler companion or swashbuckler class. It'll synergize with both of those attributes that you use for your classes. Then the next 3 we have Armada, which will be giving you Gaspard de Volley, which is a guinea pig guard. It's a Buccaneer class. As well as Mutiny is going to give you Dead Mike. That is an undead pirate, also a Buccaneer class. And Squid Attack is going to give you Burgess Lathro, which is a crab thug and the 3rd Buccaneer class that you can pick. So these 3 right here are all going to be Buccaneer classes. These synergize well with swashbucklers, privateers, as well as Buccaneer classes. So I recommend those 3 classes if you're going to be picking one of these orphans. And then last but not least, you have Shipwrecked, which will give you Lucky Jack Russell, a dog pirate. That is a privateer class. I recommend Shipwrecked if you're going to do Witch Doctor or Privateer especially. I use Shipwrecked for my privateer, and Lucky Jack Russell has helped me in many fights. So those are just my little tidbit information tips. But for our walkthrough today, we are going to be picking Mutiny.
Mutiny, was it? A shame. That's pirates for ye. Can't be trusted. Not a one of them.
Except for us. You can trust us.
Oh, can we now?
Oh, yes, right. Of course you can trust us.
Yeah, that seems very similar to what my parents said when I was younger before I was orphaned. So I wasn't actually orphaned. Sometimes it feels like that as growing up a wee little child I was. But no, I love my parents. They're great, but they did get a divorce. So this seems very befitting. There was a mutiny at a young age between me and my parents. But now we're all very happy. So we got dad, we got mom. They were mutinied and just pushed off into the Skyway. So when you get to where'd you grow up, creation, character selection, this question is going to determine which natural talent or permanent bonus for your pirate. There's 5 of them. There is Born Warrior. Born Warrior is going to be giving +5 to your weapon power. So if you're going to be doing like a melee class or you want to build a pirate that is focused purely on like outputting the maximum amount of damage possible, you can pick Born Warrior. And I will say that these permanent bonuses aren't going to make or break your game. So if you end up picking one over another and then you progress through the game, it's not going to make or change the difficulty of the game at all. So you can really, it's up to you, but I would suggest Born Warrior if you want to pick weapon power or you want your attacks for your pirate to deal more damage. Then you have Marleybone Keen Eyes. This is going to add 5 to your accuracy. So I recommend this if you're going to be picking a musketeer class especially, so that you can always guarantee that you're hitting all of your shots that you're making. Then you have Crocotopia, Natural Spooky. I love this bonus. This is your first +5%. So instead of it being a flat addition to your attributes, it's going to be percentage based, so it will scale as you progress throughout the game. Spooky or spell power is very good for casting heals or casting spells, and the classes that would benefit from this are Musketeer, Privateer, as well as Witch Doctor. So if you're going to go one of those 3 classes and you want your powers to do a little bit more damage, you should pick Crocotopia. Then you have Crizzleheim, Naturally Tough. This is going to add plus 5% health to your character, to your pirate. So if you want to make like a bulky pirate, like for example, a Buccaneer or a Privateer, because you want to stay alive just a little bit longer, then go ahead and pick Grizzleheim. And last but not least, you have Born Sneak from Skull Island. This will add 5 to your dodge stat. This is really good for swashbucklers. For my max level swashbuckler, this is what I picked because I wanted to make sure that no one could land a hit on me. But like I said, it's not going to make or break the game or change the difficulty at all. It's up to you, personal preference. But for a walkthrough, we are going to be picking weapon power. I want to do all of the damage. I want my character to be up and fighting everyone. Yeah, so apparently
Assassins come from Monsieur. You must be skilled with a blade.
we are going to be skilled with a blade. And as you can see here up top, this is my uncle Steve, and then right down here this is my stepdad, also Steve, and then right down here when I was orphaned, this is just Bob. These three took me in. They gave me a good home over in Mushu. I was raised by pigs, but that's all I'll say on that end. But they were a good 3-person father figures that I needed in my life after I was orphaned.
So how did you end up locked in this brig? What crime did the Armada arrest you for?
Yes, and finally, your last question that you're going to be answering, this is how you're going to actually pick your class that you want to be playing as. So there's 5 distinct classes in Pirate 101. You have Swashbuckler. Swashbuckler classes are really good at dodging attacks, dealing high amounts of damage, but your sacrifice is that you're going to have lower health compared to other pirates. So if you're the type of person that you love hiding and backstabbing and you want to do a lot of damage, like a glass cannon, you should pick Swashbuckler. Then you have your Musketeer. This is the first range class that you can pick. Musketeers really good with guns and chaining and making sure they output a lot of damage. They're also skilled with traps that they can put onto the board in Pirate 101. So if you're the type of person that you want to hit from long range and place some traps that the enemies will interact with to do damage, then you should go with Musketeer. The second range class is Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor was my first ever pirate that I ever played as. When I came from Wizard 101 and migrated over to Pirate 101, I wanted a wizard-esque character, like casting spells and doing powers. It's very similar to Wizard 101. So I went with Witch Doctor. I love Witch Doctor so much. It holds a special place in my heart. So maybe one day when we finish this walkthrough, we'll also do a Witch Doctor walkthrough. Then lastly, or second to last, you have Privateer. This is a pirate off screen that I've been leveling up to max, and I'm like almost done with the current end game content right now. I love Privateer, so if you're the type of person who just loves to heal and support your allies, this is a really good pirate to have in a team fight because they give buffs to all the other pirates on the board and your companions. They're also really good at giving AoE heals and individual heals. So if that's the type of person that fits you, pick Privateer. And last but certainly not least, you can go with Buccaneer. This is like the in-your-face melee character that's going to output so much damage and wants to be all over the board and hitting everyone and doing as much damage as possible. So for this walkthrough, we are going to be, if you couldn't guess it yet, from our reckless Zachary Armstrong. We want to be strong in the arms, and that's going to require being a Buccaneer class. I'm excited.
You must be a Buccaneer. Buccaneers are exceedingly tough and strong.
See, it already knows that we're tough and strong.
What distinguishing marks have you got? You know, hair color and style, expression and whatnot.
So like most games, you have your character creation screen. So this is when you can change like your hair color, eye color, your facial expressions and whatnot. So for our hair, we're just gonna, I feel like for a Buccaneer, right? Like we're at the tavern a lot drinking those like juicy boxes, wink wink nudge nudge, if you know what I mean, right? So we need some hair that gives like some like reckless, like it's mostly capped and it's like somewhat in our face, and I think this one is going to give those vibes. And we'll just do a hair color that's like similar to my own. I'm going to go for like a dark brown. Then for our face, I want something that's like smirky, that's like, oh, like we know that we're going to get into trouble, but we know we're good at it kind of face. So let's go through these. Yeah, look at this. Look at the eyebrows. The eyebrows say 1,000 words. There's 1,000 words in those eyebrows. And for eye color, I want it. We're gonna do dark red. Dark red. Red is gonna be like a theme color, right? It's gonna be like the blood of our enemies. And I feel like that embodies what a privateer or what a buccaneer is. Okay.
Pirate must dress to impress. How do you present yourself?
So then we have your hat, your torso, and your boots. There's 5 different hats, torsos, and boots that you can pick from. So like the game already comes with like a predetermined outfit for each class, but it's all up to you of like how you want to mix and match all of these up. And for every outfit item that you have, you can always change the base and the trim color. So I think the one that I've decided with, I like the skull hat, right? That's like probably the first enemy that I ever killed. There's that skull that I kept from them. I think for the base color, we are going to pick one like a burgundy, a dark red. I think that's the darkest red that they have. Yeah, that second red looks lighter. So we want this dark red. And then for the trim, I want to go for like a yellow. Let's see. It's really hard to tell. I think like a yellow gold. I think that's yellow up there. For our torso, let's go with, this gives, I think I like this one a lot. Like professional, yet can get down and dirty, and that's what we need from our pirate. Is classy, but also down and dirty. And there's that yellow or gold again. And then for our boots, I want something that I can like move around in, you know? Like, I'm not gonna get tripped up or anything like that. So there's that burgundy, and now we're just searching for the gold. Okay, I think for our Buccaneer, that's gonna be good, right? Our clothes are like soaked in the blood of our enemies. I think this really embodies
You're gonna need
a Buccaneer.
Every self-respected pirate needs a flag.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be creating a flag. So this is like,
An icon for your flag. Use the color buttons to choose its base and trim colors.
excuse me, Butchbeard, you interrupted me. This is by far a very important detail that you don't want to miss out on character creation. Your flag is going to be on every ship that you own, and the colors that you end up picking for your flag are going to determine the color choices of any companions that you pick. So when you're like fighting, in order for you not to get confused with whose companion is who's on the board, then they're going to be colored dependent on these colors that you pick right now. So I think for the Buccaneer, our emblem that we are going to, or our icon that we're going to select, I ended up liking this sword a lot, and I wanted to make like this gold flames, right? So it looks like fire. And I think we're going to go with like a gray, like steel sword that is encased in some flames.
Now choose how the field behind the icon is arranged. Use the color buttons to choose the base and trim of your flag's field.
Beautiful. So we have 2 pages, so not a lot of selections, but enough for you to make a choice at least. I think we're going to go with burgundy. So when you pick these colors right here, like the background of your flag, this is what's going to determine the color of your crew. So I want like the main color, this first color, to be this burgundy red, and then I want my secondary like accent color to be this gold. Beautiful. And when you click next, it'll show you what your companion looks like. So you can always go back here and select and change the color, so you can actually see like, oh, do these colors match, in case you like really care about that. I know I do. So to me, this red and gold do mesh very well together. So let's get us started. Yeah, so Boochbeard and Mr. Gandry found us in this cell locked up by the Armada, who we're going to become very familiar with next. And like I said, this is going to be a full fleshed out walkthrough, so we are not going to be skipping the tutorial. Do you want to skip the tutorial? Nar. Oh, nar.
She's jammed. The bulkhead's bent.
Well, now what are we supposed to do?
And conveniently, there's a hole that has been blasted in our backs.
Quick, use your
Beautiful. So down at the bottom, you'll notice you have your questing arrow. This will direct you which direction you need to move your pirate in order to complete the quest. And it always has a little tagline of what the quest is that you are on. That's leaving the brig. We got to get out of this ship. It's burning down on us. To move your character, you're going to be using your either arrow keys or the WASD keys. So I like to use the WASD keys. Kobe Yojimbo. He wants us to help him.
And press the X key to talk to the prisoner.
So the X key is what we're going to be using to like interact with other characters as well as objects within the pirate world.
Quickly, use that lever. Get me out of here.
The X key lets you use objects. Run to the lever and press X now.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to rescue and get our first companion.
I am Kobe Yojimbo, samurai from far off Mushu. Take me with you. I will follow you with honor.
Ooh, I like that little music in the background.
We will fight for you in battle.
Great. So this entire game is you questing and getting more companions to add to your team, and then later down the line you'll be able to pick which of these companions you want to be fighting with you. And the first one that we get as a Buccaneer, so this is different for each class. So if you picked like the Witch Doctor class, the first companion you get is going to be different. So it won't be the same as the one that I got. But the one for a Buccaneer is going to be this Bull Ronin. So we're just going to click Yar, accept it. And now you'll see he's going to be following us. Later on, I'll walk through how you can actually change the character that is following you. It can be either a companion, your first mate, or it can be a pet, or just nothing at all.
What took you so long? Let's get out of here.
So now we're going to try to leave the brig.
Run up the stairs at the end of the hall.
What's this? Boatsbeard. Trying to steal my prize, you ruffian? Deacon.
Spy master of the Armada. I think we're in trouble.
I don't think we are.
Our jailer. Mechanical fiend. You will rue the day you put me in chains. I think not. The prisoner must not be allowed to escape. Take them!
Oh, we're most definitely going to be escaping.
Battle angels. They are the Armada's elite warriors.
Indeed. It is high
So the good thing about this tutorial, right, is very similar to other tutorials. You can't die. You have to try really, really hard to die. But this is how the game introduces you to
Use it to order you and your
Pirate 101 and its mechanics.
characters you.
Use your mouse to choose a target or destination to move to. The blue line shows the path you will follow.
So,
Go first.
as Mr. Gantry just said, our character is going to be this blue guy right here. So your characters are going to be blue. The enemy's always going to be in red color. And these blue squares that you see down here, this is where my movement exceeds. So I can, if I click this blue square all the way up top, that's where my character is going to be moving to. So obviously they are upset that I moved there and I'm not engaging with this battle angel. So when you notice when I hover over the battle angel, it'll tell you their level, what class they are. So this is a Buccaneer level 2. I am only a Buccaneer level 1. And then this 35 right down here is the health points it has. So as you can tell, I have like almost double the health points. So this should be a pretty good fight. And then down here at the very bottom, this is where any spells or powers that you can cast throughout the game will show up. Right now we don't start with any, so we're just going to do a basic attack by left-clicking the opponent.
Done to end your turn.
And then to end our turn, we're going to click done. You'll notice soon when you play the game, if you ever play the game, that you have a clock that's counting down, usually from like anywhere from like 45 seconds to 30 seconds. So these decisions that you have to make in real time are very quick. But at least right now they don't time us, so that we can go through the nit and gritty of how do you exactly play Pirate 101.
Be careful. If your health falls below 0, you'll be knocked out.
Okay, our goal for this entire run is not to die once. We should have like add like a death counter in the top right, how many times
The hurt angel to knock her out.
I've died, and see how low we can keep that number. Okay, so obviously we're going to focus on the battle angel that it's already low on health, right? It's easier to fight 2 angels rather than just having 3 angels fighting against me. We always want to focus on getting rid of 1 enemy at a time for right now, at least the early game.
Time to even the odds. Your companion gets a turn. Pick the closest angel to order Kobe to attack.
So yeah, now this is what it would actually look like if we're in the normal Pirate101 game. You have your pirate with the amount of companions that you have available to you. The maximum you can have on the board is 3, so we only have 1 right now, which is why we have him. And we are going to have him attack this battle angel. So the way that you control your character is the same as the way you can control your companions. And as you progress throughout the game, your companions will also learn powers, talents, etc. to make them stronger, to be able to stand up to par to the enemies that you're fighting.
Excellent! One down.
I just love the animations in this game. It is my favorite part, the fighting animations. Like, it makes me feel like I am playing like an anime, or like if you've ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender and they have those fight scenes. That's what I feel like I'm playing right now.
Time to play for keeps. Click on your attack power.
So this is my attack power, Mighty Charge. It'll tell you how much damage it does. So this should definitely kill this angel. And this angel should go down very easily. It's only at 3 health. So this should hopefully wrap up this battle. Then Kobe over there just adding some salt to the wound. You only need to do 3 damage, like a little... I think if he had just like blew on them, did a little... they would have fallen over, but... we can add some salt to the Armada's wounds. Oh, reinforcements. Psh. We got this.
Don't make me destroy you. No, don't bother. Lads, fire!
So Boochbeard send in some reinforcements to help take care of these big guys.
Impressive. It seems we've underestimated you, young pirate. You'll regret making an enemy of the Armada. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts.
You know, I think Boochbeard deserved that. He stood very close to those explosives. Yeah, I think he barely sees because one eye is closed and the other one is covered by a patch. So if he just opened his one eye that he has, I think he would see it quite very well. So we're going to try to leave the ship. We got to escape to the nearest island, which we are going to come to know as Skull Island.
Wind in her sails. Up arrow increases speed. That's better. Now set course for the docks at Skull Island before any more clockworks find us.
Beautiful.
Oh no, another Armada ship. Battle stations.
So
Still with us. To engage, Captain.
we are not going to talk about broadside combat much right now. We will learn it much later, as Boochbeard says.
Click the windstone button or the Z key to give her
So this windstone button right now is going to help boost our ship. This is a ship, so just like you move your character in the game, you can use the WASD to turn right, left, go straight, or go backwards.
That's better. Now set course for the docks at Skull Island before
But
any
now we are going to be going into Skull Island, this island that we see right in front of us.
We have arrived. Press X to make boat.
And we are going to make refuge here.
Find Captain Avery. He's an old friend of mine. Always hiring good pirates for some scheme or other. Good luck and good hunting.
Beautiful. And I think for right now, that is where we are going to end the first episode ever for this walkthrough. I hope you all are as excited as I am. This walkthrough, I think, is going to be very special to my heart, but I hope it's also special for you all as well. And on the next episode, we are going to get started with talking to Captain Avery and figuring out, well, what is a Buccaneer's life look like? Well, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I'm going to be signing off. And as always, have a great morning.